Hi, Gemini Sun and Rising. Welcome to your September 2023 Astro Update. It's Raina here. September. What is happening in September? Well, the Sun is in Virgo, fellow mutable sign. And so this is a very interesting area of your chart. This is the fourth house of home and family. So I know that this is not going to be entirely true for all Gemini people. But what I tend to think of when I think of the fourth house for a sign like Gemini, being a Sag myself, the opposite sign of Gemini, is that it might be a bit of an area that is, I don't know if love hate is too strong a word, but the point being that the fourth house is the house of home and family. It's a water house, so it deals with emotional issues. One of the big ones is the past. And Gemini, being a masculine sign, is all about the future, is all about being objective rather than subjective. So you may feel claustrophobic when it comes to these sorts of issues. This can be the family of origin, whether you think the fourth house is the mother or the father. To me, it's no different. It just is this, the parental figure that was nurturing. And although you may even have a good relationship with that person, there may be like this feeling of wanting to be free and being held back. Well, I don't want to say held back, but feeling like you have to choose between your family and freedom. Now, this is not going to be true 100% of the time, obviously, but I'm thinking of that Cancer vibe that the fourth house represents, which can be very clingy. And some of you, though, because Cancer is an adjacent sign, will have inner planets. This will be, specifically the sun sign will have inner planets in Cancer, so you may be more accepting of that kind of behavior and may even have a little bit of it yourself. If your rising sign is Gemini, you may have, it's possible your sun is in Cancer or your moon is in Cancer. So it can be like, that's why I'm saying it's not 100% across the board. But anyway, on the 3rd of the month, Venus goes direct at 12 degrees of Leo. And the significance of this for Gemini is because this is in the 3rd house, which is the house that you rule. So this can feel very much like you have been doing, I want to say soul searching, but that's not really entirely accurate. Venus can be about money, but Venus can be, and of course Venus can be about love, but it can also be about your values. And the 3rd house that you rule has to do with communication. So if some of you, for instance, let's say some of you Geminis have a YouTube channel, which the 3rd house can be social media, something along those lines. There may have been an incident that has arisen in recent months that had to do with maybe making money through a blog or a YouTube account, and you're questioning whether you really want to do it. Now, it may not be something that is like an ethical dilemma, but perhaps, sometimes a Gemini person may even feel like they want to limit their interactions online because they're already so, mentally haywire, where you're always thinking, you're always talking, and you might feel like you need to kind of channel that. So that can be something that is very important for you to kind of iron out, if you will. But now that Venus is direct, you may make money from some of these endeavors that involve social media. Oh, also teaching. I can't believe I didn't say that. Teaching, you could be learning something, and should I invest money in this? But in terms of teaching, that is one of those professions that Gemini is just totally involved with. So if that has been kind of something you have debated within yourself, it might be, the money angle could also be in play if you are thinking in terms of like whether or not you get paid enough, but even like how, what it is that you're teaching, whether you think it is right, whether you think that it serves your students. That could be something that you have been dealing with. Now this is a time for things to move forward. And because you've had Venus in this house for months, so one more month it will be here. On the 4th of the month, and this is the very next day, another benefic planet, the other benefic planet, Jupiter, goes retrograde at 15 degrees of Taurus. This is the sign before you, so this is 12th house related. So this is really about, deep diving into your values and I would say your faith in unseen forces. And, Gemini is a sign that because you are ruled by Mercury and the fact that you're an air sign, this can make you very intellectual, which can think that you're too smart to believe in God, that's like some kind of childish fantasy or superstition. So, or, anti-intellectual superstition. So some of these things may, especially, this is how I see it too, when the 8th house is more of the house of death, but the 12th house is that house of past lives and karma, the things that connect us to maybe other realms. And when Jupiter is transiting this area, the person may become more exposed to spiritual teachers or some kind of classes. You're learning something, and then perhaps you're wondering whether or not this is all true. Like your mind kicks in again and you go back and forth. So some of that may be happening. I do want to say that if you were planning to go on some retreat, this may be the time when you're able to take advantage of it, because Jupiter retrograding can bring those things back to you, those offers, those, blessings or gifts. On the 14th, Jupiter, the new moon is at almost 22 degrees of Virgo. So that is your 4th house of home and family. And in about a year or a little bit more than that, you will have eclipses in these areas, and that will mean that this could change for you. But who knows? Maybe you're even moving or wanting to move now. You get an opportunity for that. There just can be some new developments on the home front for some reason. But the interesting thing is the very next day, your ruler goes direct at 8 degrees of Virgo in the same area. And it went retrograde at the same degree that the new moon is at, 21 degrees. So there could be some connection with that. As I record this, this has not happened yet because Mercury goes retrograde on the 22nd of August. So if you're listening, from Sunday through Tuesday, that will be still in the future. So keep that in mind. You might have had maybe you were planning on moving and something delayed that. Well, things should start to get settled in the next few weeks as Mercury goes direct. I mean, comes out of its shadow. On the 23rd, the sun goes into Libra, fellow air sign, and this is in front of you. This is the 5th house of love, creativity, and pleasure, fun period of time. You're going to feel like doing fun things more than working. And that's fine, maybe you'll meet somebody that you really care about. There's going to be a solar eclipse here in October that I look forward to telling you about next month. So enjoy yourself. If you are looking for love, make sure that you circulate so that you can align yourself with the energies. On the 29th, we have a full moon in the opposite sign of Libra, Aries, 6 degrees. This is the 11th house, hopes and wishes, your gains, which has a financial connection to your work. So this could be a time when you see a financial increase. Full moons can bring abundance, and so that might be one of your dreams coming true. And this is a nice way to end the month. You could be letting go of a group that you belong to. I think, because Jupiter is retrograding, that may be something connected to like an organized religion or something that doesn't really serve you, because also Uranus is in the 12th house. So it's really kind of out there spiritual stuff. When I see that transit of Uranus in the 8th, 9th, or 12th houses, I think that the person's getting exposed to stuff that's really wild and out there. And so the more conventional religious beliefs may pale by comparison. So that might be what is going on. Or you have a psychic download, because this is a very psychic house, and then also this is the dream state, so you may have a prophetic dream. So that's very interesting, Gemini. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.